how many emails are we not going to get back? And how quickly can we verify if this person even really exists that's collecting a 20,000, 50,000, hell, probably in some cases 6 figures of paycheck, you know, for one individual that may not actually even be in existence?
But what we are trying to get to the bottom of is we think there are a number of people on the government payroll who are dead.
At least some, and we don't know how many yet, but some employees on the federal payroll are either dead or they're not real. Renegade Online. This was fun. This was during the cabinet meeting that everybody's talking about. Well, I'll just let him kind of go into this. And he's talking about, you know, we all had the stories recently about how Elon Musk and his crew, they sent out a mass email to every federal employee, right? And said, hey, tell us 5 things you did last week at work, right? Y'all heard about this story. Mm-hmm. All right. So a lot of people got upset. How dare you ask us what we did at work? You know, how dare we actually have to justify our job? This kind of attitude, kind of routine things, I think, for most employment. This is what happened today.
Well, to be clear, like I think the email perhaps was best interpreted as a performance review, but actually it was a pulse check review.
A pulse check review.
See if you're even needed.
Not just needed. Wait till you hear what he says.
Do you have a pulse? Do you have a pulse and 2 neurons? So if you have a pulse and 2 neurons, you can reply to an email. This is, you know, I think not a high bar, is what I'm saying. This is, should be, anyone could accomplish this. But what we are trying to get to the bottom of is we think there are a number of people on the government payroll who are dead, which is probably why they can't respond. And some people who are not real people, like they're literally fictional individuals that are collecting paychecks. Well, somebody's collecting paychecks on a fictional individual. So we're just literally trying to figure out, are these people real? Are they alive? And can they write an email?
Wow.
That's kind of crazy. What the heck?
Well,
So,
I mean, they've already found, like, I mean, how many people that were receiving Social Security that were not alive?
yeah, and they haven't even finished digging through that yet. And
But
that's
if they find government employees that either have already passed on or just aren't even real in general, it doesn't matter if they find those if they don't then go on to investigate, well, who was collecting the money on behalf of these people and who made the fake people get the jobs in the first place, right? Who was taking the money that the fake people were supposedly getting? Because someone was getting that money.
Yeah.
exactly. And that's a big part of it. And that's is that. So today he's spilling the beans that the real purpose of this was to try to see, you know, we figured out that there's a number of federal employees that don't exist, but paychecks are going to them or to somebody. We need to figure out how many are there. So if you can respond to an email, I mean, these are people that obviously have email addresses and all this kind of stuff, but we're trying to figure out how many emails are we not going to get back? And how quickly can we verify if this person even really exists that's collecting a 20,000, 50,000, hell, probably in some cases 6 figures of paycheck, you know, for one individual that may not actually even be in existence. So
And just in case there's an actual vampire mixed in with all of those people, please change me. I would love to live forever.
right?
You know, I wouldn't say what I'd like to.
So as a follow-up to that, this was Trump's remarks. So you can see Elon standing there on the left side of the frame behind the cabinet, and then the camera swings over to Donald Trump. So this is a separate clip, but it's in the same meeting at the same time.
I'd like to add that those million people that haven't responded, though, Elon, they are on the bubble.
Million people that haven't responded yet.
A million government employees that haven't responded to that email?
Yeah, then the number, it was at the end of the other clip. I apologize. Elon is the one that said, we're still waiting, and he threw out the million figure.
That's crazy.
Now, I'm sure most of them probably just haven't responded yet, But because they're still trying to figure out, okay, what is this? Is this real? Is this legit? I mean, who knows? Some of them might have gotten spammed out. I have no idea. But you can see what they're trying to ping the algorithm on from Elon to see what is going on here.
I wouldn't say that we're thrilled about it. They haven't responded. Now, maybe they don't exist. Maybe we're paying people that don't exist. Don't forget, we just got here. This group just got here. But those people are on the bubble, as they say. Maybe they're going to be gone. Maybe they're not around. Maybe they have other jobs. Maybe they moved. And
he's trying to leave all the doors open here for whatever may be occurring, but they obviously already know that at least some, and we don't know how many yet, but some employees on the federal payroll are either dead or they're not real.
I wonder how they found out, like, even the small amount before, because that they knew that before they sent out the pulse check. So I'm wondering how they figured that out in the first place.
I suspect that if this is perchance as widespread as it may be, and probably that it's been going on for some time, is that people talk, people know. There's got to be people out there that know that, oh yeah, we've heard stories for years about this, or we know of a department that, that claims that they have 10 people on payroll, but we never see more than 5 people in the office. There's kind of, there's always those kind of things that start raising the antenna. And then Elon came up with the idea, let's send an email out to every federal employee out there and see what happens. Start probing in this case.
And then I would be interested to see how many, because originally the media was all upset about him asking, what are 5 things that you did last week? So I'd be interested to see, what were the results of that question.
Well, that was the email that they haven't responded to.
Oh, the pulse question, yeah.
Yeah,
there were some people that were just like, I don't know if this is fake, so I'm not going to respond to it. Some were like, I shouldn't have to respond to this. I shouldn't have to justify my job. This administration's out of control. So there's obviously like real people who haven't responded to it yet, and that million figure I'm sure is going to go down. But even if it's only like they find like 20 people, right? Even if it's a small number, that's still 20 either fake or dead people who are receiving a government paycheck. And why were they receiving that?
Absolutely.
You'll love to see it.
Yeah. Speaking of vampires, there you go. Perfect. Make sure you're subscribed to Valiant Renegade and join us every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the live show.